Today, the world of coin collecting, certain pieces rise above their modest face value to become icons of numismatic history. These coins tell stories not only through their imagery and inscriptions but through their journey in American commerce, scarcity, and collector demand. Among these is the 1982 Jefferson Nickel from the United States, a coin that has stirred curiosity and sparked excitement for decades. Though it bears the humble denomination of 5 cents, many now believe it holds a symbolic and collectible value far beyond its monetary inscription. Some even say its worth could be as much as $82 million in the right context, making it one of the most talked about coins in modern American numismatics. The Jefferson Nickel, first introduced in 1938, has long carried the image of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States and the principal author of the Declaration of Independence. Designed by artist Felix Schlag, the coin's obverse features a left-facing bust of Jefferson, while the reverse showcases Monticello, Jefferson's estate in Virginia. Over the decades, the Jefferson Nickel has gone through subtle changes in design, composition, and minting technology. But it's the 1982 edition that has captured the attention of collectors and historians alike for a unique combination of reasons. The early 1980s were a turbulent time for the United States Mint. Inflation pressures and rising metal costs forced the government to reconsider the composition of various coins. The penny, for instance, underwent a major change in 1982, transitioning from mostly copper to a copper-plated zinc core. While the nickel did not immediately follow suit in composition, 1982 became a pivotal year for another reason. It marked a time of confusion and transition in the minting process that affected multiple denominations. Mints across the country were shifting from traditional coinage dies and pressing equipment to newer technologies. As a result, errors became more common, and variations in coins minted during this period increased. Among these variations, the 1982 Jefferson Nickel stands out for several key features. First, some nickels from this year were struck with less-than-perfect die alignments, resulting in visible doubling, off-center strikes, or misaligned mint marks. These errors, while seemingly minor, are treasured by collectors who understand their rarity and value in the numismatic marketplace. Moreover, 1982 nickels have been found with both strong and weak strikes, differing levels of luster, and in some cases, variations in the thickness of the planchet used, indicating inconsistency in the minting process. However, the legend of the 1982 Jefferson Nickel doesn't rest solely on errors or variations. It's the lore that surrounds specific examples, coins found in pristine condition, with full steps on Monticello and preserved without the touch of circulation, that elevates their status. Full steps, nickels, as collectors call them, are those in which the steps leading up to Monticello on the reverse are clearly and sharply defined. These coins are considerably rare, especially from the early 1980s, and command high prices at auctions. 1982 Jefferson Nickel in particular stunned collectors when it was discovered in an uncirculated roll, still bearing its original mint shine and displaying full steps. The coin, authenticated and graded at the highest levels by professional services, fetched a jaw-dropping amount at a private sale. While not officially recorded at $82 million, the story of that coin, and the speculation it generated, sparked widespread interest in the 1982 issue. From that point on, collectors began scouring their old rolls, and inherited collections for 1982 nickels, hoping to uncover a fortune in their own pockets. The mythos around the $82 million face value stems from a blend of numismatic valuation, symbolic interpretation, and the sheer mystique that surrounds certain coins. Much like a piece of art that gains value through story and rarity, the 1982 Jefferson Nickel has become a symbol of hidden wealth and historical significance. Its presence in the collecting community is less about the practical worth of its metal content and more about what it represents: an era of transition, a glitch in the matrix of minting, and the potential for everyday objects to become extraordinary. This symbolic face value of $82 million has also been fueled by online discussions, forums, YouTube videos, and speculative articles. Collectors share stories of finding 1982 nickels in pocket change or estate sales, only to realize they held a key piece of American minting history. Each story adds to the legend, blending fact and folklore in a way that enriches the coin's legacy. The idea that a 5-cent coin could reach such astronomical value challenges our understanding of money, worth, and historical relevance. Furthermore, the 1982 Jefferson nickel holds importance beyond just collectors. It serves as a time capsule from an era when the U.S. Mint was evolving under pressure, when economic concerns directly influenced currency, and when new technologies introduced unforeseen complications into the process of coin production. The nickel itself is a relic from a transitional period in American economic history. Its flaws, its brilliance, and its anomalies all reflect a moment in time when change was not only expected but embedded in every minted coin. As with many items in the world of rare collectibles, provenance, condition, and story are everything. A 1982 Jefferson nickel pulled from circulation with heavy wear might be worth little more than its face value. But one discovered in gem uncirculated condition, with clear errors or full steps, could command thousands, or even millions, depending on the buyer and the market context. Rarity fuels desire, and desire inflates value. This is the simple, yet powerful, truth behind the coin's mythologized $82 million labeled "IN truth." There is no formal documentation from the United States Mint stating any 1982 Jefferson nickel is officially worth $82 million. Rather, this value is symbolic, a way to underscore the immense cultural and collector interest the coin has garnered. It's a figure that captures the imagination, provokes discussion, and invites deeper exploration into the world of coin collecting. It also serves as a reminder that history is not only preserved in museums and archives but in the everyday objects we sometimes overlook. Collectors continue to search for the perfect 1982 Jefferson nickel, and the numismatic community has embraced the hunt as a kind of modern treasure quest. With advancements in grading technology, online marketplaces, and information sharing, new discoveries are still possible. The next great nickel could be hiding in a forgotten piggy bank, an old coin jar, or a sealed mint roll tucked away in someone's drawer for decades. For those with the knowledge and curiosity to look, the thrill of discovery remains very real. So while the notion of an $82 million Jefferson nickel may stretch the bounds of practical coin value, it emphasizes the rich, unpredictable, and deeply personal nature of collecting. Coins are more than currency, they are pieces of art, history, and culture that connect generations. The 1982 nickel, in all its imperfection and myth, has become one of the most fascinating chapters in the story of American coinage. If you're a collector, historian, or simply someone intrigued by the secrets hiding in your pocket change, keep your eyes open. The next time you come across a nickel dated 1982, take a closer look. You never know, you might just be holding a tiny piece of history that tells a much bigger story, and if you found this story as fascinating as the coin itself, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel for more incredible coin stories, and share it with fellow collectors and enthusiasts. There's a whole world of hidden treasure out there, and together, we're just getting started. Next, the vast world of numismatics, where stories of the past are told through the shimmer of metal and the delicate etchings of time. Few coins spark intrigue quite like the 2008 Jefferson nickel. At first glance, it might appear as just another 5-cent piece, tucked away in change drawers, forgotten in pockets, or clinking unnoticed at the bottom of coin jars. But for those who take a closer look and understand the value that history, rarity, and condition can bring, the 2008 Jefferson nickel is far more than mere change. It is a treasure, a key to American legacy, and for some, a coin worth millions. To understand the full magnitude of this coin's significance, one must journey back to the roots of the Jefferson nickel itself. First introduced in 1938, the nickel bearing Thomas Jefferson's likeness replaced the Buffalo nickel, which had become a staple of American coinage since 1913. The Jefferson nickel's obverse design, created by Felix Schlag, featured the third U.S. president in profile with Monticello, Jefferson's iconic estate, gracing the reverse. For decades, this design remained largely unchanged, and the coin became a fixture in American pockets and purses. Fast forward to the early 2000s, when the United States Mint initiated a significant design overhaul in celebration of the bicentennials of the Louisiana Purchase and the Lewis and Clark Expedition. Between 2004 and 2006, the Westward Journey Nickel series brought new imagery and symbolism to the coin, reigniting public interest in the humble nickel. Following that series, the 2006 redesign introduced a forward-facing Jefferson portrait by Jamie Franke on the obverse, and a refined depiction of Monticello on the reverse, restoring the architectural legacy of Jefferson's home but with greater artistic detail and precision. By the time 2008 rolled around, the U.S. Mint was continuing to use the updated design, and most people did not give the year's minting a second thought. After all, billions of coins are produced annually. What could make the 2008 Jefferson Nickel special? The answer lies not in sheer mintage numbers alone, but in a blend of errors, rarities, pristine conditions, and sheer luck that create numismatic legends. The 2008 Jefferson Nickel, in some of its rarest forms and conditions, has become just that, a legend. Collectors have identified certain 2008 nickels with striking anomalies. Some exhibit unusual die errors, double strikes, off-center impressions, and die cracks that create distinct lines or features not present in standard mint issues. Others possess extremely high grades of preservation, such as those graded MS68 or higher by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC. In coin collecting, the condition of a coin can mean the difference between a value of 5 cents and $5 million. When a coin is discovered in pristine, uncirculated condition, and especially when it is one of very few to achieve such a grade, its rarity and desirability skyrocket. One must also consider the historical context in which this coin was minted. The year 2008 was marked by significant upheaval in the United States and the world. The global financial crisis was reaching its peak, markets were crashing, and the U.S. economy was on the brink of a major recession. In the midst of this uncertainty, everyday items, like coins, often went unnoticed. Yet, this very chaos contributed to the rarity of high-grade 2008 nickels. With less attention paid to collecting and preserving coins at the time, fewer pristine examples were saved, making those that were even more valuable today. In the collector's market, demand often drives price as much as rarity does. And in recent years, the demand for unique and error coins has surged. Auctions have seen a flurry of activity as collectors seek out the best examples of coins from seemingly ordinary years. The 2008 Jefferson Nickel, when combined with a perfect grade and potential die anomalies, has fetched stunning sums, some even claiming a face value worth of $8 million in specific high-profile private sales or speculative listings, but beyond the price tag lies something deeper. Coins like the 2008 Jefferson Nickel tell a story, not just of metal, minting, and markets, but of people, moments, and history. They are reminders of a nation's journey, reflections of artistry and industry, and symbols of the unexpected wealth that can hide in plain sight. For the average person, finding such a coin could feel like uncovering buried treasure. For the numismatist, it represents years of dedication, study, and passion. Some lucky individuals have reported finding rare nickels in bank rolls or estate collections, tucked away and long forgotten. The thrill of discovering a valuable coin in the most mundane of places adds to the coin's allure. And every so often, a new story surfaces, of a 2008 nickel, perfectly preserved, appearing at an auction and setting new records. These stories fuel the imaginations of collectors everywhere, sparking renewed interest in coin hunting and investing. The physical characteristics of the 2008 Jefferson Nickel also play a role in its mystique. Struck in a composition of 75% copper and 25% nickel, the coin weighs 5 grams and measures 21.21 millimeters in diameter. It might seem small, but its impact is immense. Its design, both modern and timeless, continues to appeal to those who admire American architecture, leadership, and history. The inscription, "In God We Trust," along with "Liberty" and "the Year," remain pillars of the coin's patriotic resonance. Some versions of the 2008 Jefferson Nickel were minted in Philadelphia, while others were struck in Denver. While both mints produced large quantities, it is often the Denver Mint coins that have been found with the most notable errors, though this can vary. Certain varieties with full steps on Monticello, meaning all the steps are clearly visible and unblemished, are especially sought after by collectors. The full steps designation is a hallmark of sharp striking and flawless preservation, factors which greatly enhance a coin's value. The idea that a 5-cent piece could be worth millions seems almost too good to be true. But that's part of what makes numismatics such an enchanting field. In a world where digital currency and online banking dominate, the simple 5-cent coin remains a tangible piece of the past, a physical link to history and heritage. And in the right circumstances, it becomes more than just currency, it becomes legacy. Parents, grandparents, and even great-grandparents often pass down coins unknowingly, tucked inside small pouches, jars, or shoeboxes. These coins sometimes contain hidden treasures, overlooked for decades. The 2008 Jefferson Nickel has become one such gem, hidden in plain sight, waiting to be discovered by the next keen-eyed enthusiast or casual collector. Some experts believe the value of such rare coins will only continue to rise. As inflation alters the purchasing power of money and older coinage becomes scarcer, numismatic value tends to increase. Moreover, the rise of online marketplaces and global auction platforms has made it easier than ever for rare coins to be discovered, bought, and sold across continents. What once might have sat in obscurity is now only a photo and a click away from being recognized for its true worth. There is also a psychological and emotional aspect to coin collecting that adds to its value. Holding a coin from 2008 can evoke memories of the time, the cultural shifts, political landscape, economic fears, and technological advancements. A single nickel, passed from hand to hand, from decade to decade, carries with it stories of everyone who touched it, every transaction it facilitated, and every place it's traveled. That human connection, that bridge across time, is priceless. For those who are now intrigued by the story of the 2008 Jefferson Nickel, the advice is simple: look closely. Examine your change, explore old collections, visit coin shows, and do your research. The world of rare coins is filled with opportunities for discovery, learning, and even financial gain. What appears ordinary might just be extraordinary. And in the case of the 2008 Jefferson Nickel, a seemingly insignificant 5-cent coin could, under the right circumstances, be worth $8 million. Whether you are a seasoned collector or someone just beginning to explore the world of coins, the 2008 nickel serves as a powerful reminder that the smallest things can hold the greatest value. Keep your eyes open, your curiosity alive, and who knows, you might be the next person to uncover a piece of American history worth far more than its face value suggests. That if you enjoyed this story and want to uncover more hidden treasures in the world of coins, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. There's a whole world of history in your pocket, and we're just getting started. Next, 1991. The United States Mint continued its regular production of the Jefferson Nickel, a coin that had been in circulation since 1938. Designed by Felix Schlag, the Jefferson Nickel features the profile of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and his famous home, Monticello, on the reverse. While millions of these nickels were minted in 1991, certain varieties, conditions, and rare errors have made some of them extremely valuable to collectors and numismatic enthusiasts. But what is it about the 1991 Jefferson Nickel that sparks such intrigue? Why have certain examples of this unassuming 5-cent coin been whispered about in collector circles as being worth far more than their face value? In some exceptional cases, numbers like $91 million are thrown around, not because the coin inherently holds that much intrinsic value, but because of the legends, the historical significance, and the mysterious circumstances that have surrounded particular specimens. To begin understanding the allure of the 1991 Jefferson Nickel, we must look at the history of the coin itself. The Jefferson Nickel was introduced in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel, which had become outdated and difficult to mint effectively. Felix Schlag won a design competition held by the Treasury Department, and his vision of Jefferson's profile and Monticello was adopted, although modified from his original concept. For decades, the coin remained relatively unchanged, making it a consistent feature in American pockets and coin collections. The year 1991 was not marked by any major design overhaul or minting reform, and over 900 million Jefferson nickels were struck that year across various minting facilities including Philadelphia and Denver. Yet, even among such vast numbers, not all coins are created equal. The appeal of certain 1,991 nickels lies not only in their production or preservation but in anomalies, errors during the minting process, rare strike varieties, or extraordinarily preserved examples graded at the highest levels. Collectors and investors in the numismatic world are constantly on the hunt for these outliers. A common nickel, circulated and worn, might still be worth only 5 cents. But a pristine, perfectly struck coin, or one with a rare and dramatic error, can skyrocket in value due to rarity and demand. One of the most famous types of valuable coins are those that contain minting errors. These can take many forms: double dies, off-center strikes, planchet errors, or even coins struck on the wrong metal. If a 1991 Jefferson nickel has a doubled die, where the image or text appears slightly doubled due to a misalignment in the die creation process, it could be worth significantly more than face value. An off-center strike, where the image on the coin is misaligned due to the coin blank not being centered in the press, can also command high prices. Such errors are often caught during production, but a few slip through, and these are the gems that collectors seek. A double-struck 1991 nickel, where the coin was struck more than once with a shift between strikes, could be even more valuable. What pushes the value even higher is the coin's condition. Coin grading is a science of its own, and grading services such as the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, or Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, use a scale from 1 to 70 to assess the condition of a coin, with 70 being a perfect coin with no visible imperfections even under magnification. A 1991 Jefferson nickel graded at MS 68 or higher is extremely rare. If such a coin is coupled with an error, it could be among the most valuable nickels ever found. There have been instances where coins graded MS 67 or MS 68, particularly with full steps on Monticello, a designation meaning the steps of the building are fully visible and sharply struck, have fetched thousands at auction. Beyond condition and error, there's a third factor that adds intrigue and value to the 1991 Jefferson nickel: provenance and story. Coins with fascinating backstories, or those discovered in remarkable ways, often fetch higher prices. There are stories, some verified, some more myth than reality, of certain coins being owned by famous collectors or found in unbelievable places. Imagine discovering a nearly perfect 1991 Jefferson nickel lodged between floorboards in a historic building, or one found in a jar that hadn't been opened since the early 1990s. The story adds to the mystique, and mystique fuels value, and then there's the role of speculation and hype. The numismatic world, like the art world, is sometimes subject to sudden waves of interest. If a particular coin gains media attention, perhaps because of a high-profile sale or an influencer spotlight, it can become the next big thing. The 1991 Jefferson nickel has had moments like that, where certain sales or discoveries have led to sudden interest spikes. This speculation can inflate prices, especially for coins with something special, like rare die varieties or unusual toning. It's this hype that can sometimes lead to jaw-dropping valuations like $91 million, not a practical market price, but a symbolic one, meant to represent the coin's mythical status among a certain niche of collectors. While number 1991 nickel has officially sold for $91 million, the idea of such a valuation plays into a larger theme in the world of rare coins: the blend of history, rarity, speculation, and emotional value. For the right buyer, who believes in the importance of a particular coin's story or rarity, money becomes secondary. It's about owning a piece of history that is believed to be unlike any other. If a 1991 Jefferson nickel is found with a never-before-seen minting error, in flawless condition, and with impeccable provenance, it could theoretically fetch millions under the right circumstances. This is not because of metal content. Nickels are mostly made of copper and nickel and have minimal intrinsic value, but because of what the coin represents to the collector and the market, the importance of year and symbolism cannot be ignored. Coin collectors often place great value on the year a coin was minted. Sometimes, the historical context of the year adds significance. In 1991, the world was undergoing rapid change, the Cold War was ending, the internet was just beginning to gain traction, and a new generation of technology was on the rise. In this context, coins minted in 1991 can be seen as time capsules, representing the end of one era and the dawn of another. That cultural backdrop gives additional flavor to the story of the 1991 Jefferson Nickel. Moreover, numismatics is not merely about currency, it is about preserving heritage. Coins like the Jefferson Nickel serve as physical reminders of American ideals and the people who shaped them. Thomas Jefferson himself, featured on the coin, was a founding father, the principal author of the Declaration of Independence, and a visionary leader. Owning a Jefferson nickel, especially one from a significant or underappreciated year like 1991, can feel like holding a piece of Jefferson's enduring legacy. Collectors are also drawn to full-step nickels from the 1990s, and 1991 is no exception. Full steps refer to the lines on the steps of Monticello, which are often weakly struck. A coin with full steps, especially 5 or 6 complete lines, is rare and highly desirable. In lower mintages or poorly handled batches, these full-step coins can become even scarcer, boosting their value. For those passionate about Jefferson nickels, a full-step 1991 piece in superb condition is a holy grail item, potentially fetching tens of thousands or more at auction. Another reason behind the inflated talk of million-dollar valuations is the mystery around unlisted varieties. Sometimes, new varieties are discovered decades after minting, when a collector or researcher notices a subtle difference in the die or strike. If a new, unique 1991 variety were to be authenticated and gain recognition, its rarity could spark bidding wars. This has happened before in other denominations, and there's always the possibility it could happen again with the 1991 nickel. These factors contribute to the legend of the 1991 5-cent Jefferson nickel being worth $91 million. While most of these coins are still worth only a few cents, the rarest examples, those with errors, unique characteristics, perfect condition, and captivating stories, represent the extraordinary potential of numismatics. It is a world where the ordinary can become extraordinary, where a coin that millions have handled can become a priceless artifact in the right hands. Collectors today are advised to check their coin jars, inspect their pocket change, and look carefully at any 1991 nickels they might come across. With a magnifying glass and a bit of patience, they might uncover an overlooked treasure. Whether it's an off-center strike, a double die, a full-step beauty, or a coin with an unusual luster or patina, each nickel tells a story. Some of these stories may be worth 5 cents. Others may be worth millions. As always, if you've enjoyed diving into the mysterious and fascinating world of rare coins with us today, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel for more coin history and valuation insights, and tap the bell icon so you never miss a discovery that could change your collection forever.